Ladies and gentlemen, Paul, you were ahead of the jump there. Paul's like 5, 4. Oh, there we go. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, that's why it's live, baby. We love live. You can make
That's
mistakes,
right.
keep going. It's kind of like life. You make mistakes and keep going, right? It's not like a movie where they just dub it in and redo it over and over. All right, enough about that. Today, we are very fortunate to have our Director of Education from California, Arizona, and Nevada, Miss Laurette Mormon. You see, I hear my crowd goes crazy back there.
I love it. I love it. It's
I'm
great.
down. I'm down. All right. So, hey, tell us a little about yourself, how long you've been doing this, and all that good stuff, Laurette, please.
All right. Well, so I actually got my license in 2004. So I've had my license for about 18 years now. Prior to that, I was living in Northern California, and I worked for a computer software company for technology, and I did training for hotel software companies. So I actually went out and traveled and did training for hotel systems for the staff and helped install the computer systems. So I did a lot of training and installation on technology. And because it was a hotel environment, it was 24/7, and decided that I might get into the real estate business because if I'm working all these hours, I might as well do it for myself. And so at that time, my husband and I decided that we were going to move back to Vegas to be with our family because we both grew up here. And at that time, I said, okay, this is the time. So I got my license in 2004, the perfect time to get it, obviously, when the market was crazy, and had been working it since then. And then about 2016, I had the opportunity to start working in the education department. And so I started teaching pre-licensing classes for students who wanted to get their license, and then started getting into the technology training. So now I actually am teaching the VAC classes and all the technology that we have. So a long haul, but I started in the back technology and training, and then here I am again. But I'm still doing some real estate in a passive way.
Right. Well, great. Well, great. So you had a lot of training in the computer division and so forth for this type of work, and then you had your real estate license and been selling for a while, and kaboom, there you go,
That's
ready to
right.
rock. Yeah. So tell them a little about, and which is great. And but I'm thinking you moved from Vegas to Northern California. That must have been a huge cost of living shock for you.
Well, it was actually in the early 80s,
Oh,
and so it wasn't as bad. It was a long time ago.
yes.
And then but so it wasn't, but it was kind of different. Definitely a lot of things changed. And of course, when I came back here, there's no way we would ever go back there because it's crazy
Yeah.
price,
Oh,
crazy
yeah.
price.
And traffic, just the traffic alone there.
That's true. That's true. I
I
mean,
remember.
10 miles was like an hour and a half. So
Yeah. Tina
yeah.
and I went to downtown San Francisco for some holiday weekend. I can't remember, and we landed on a Friday. Which is about a 40-minute drive, without anybody on the road, and it took us 3.5 hours to get from
Wow.
Oakland Airport. I was like, okay, I would rather do anything than live in this traffic.
You could have
Anyway,
gotten on the BART.
that's right.
So,
Yes, good. Well, it's supposed to be one of the best too, Bart. So I've never
yeah,
tried. Probably should have while I was there.
you will.
All right.
You will experience.
So give them a little idea because we, this Mark Stark group here, we've what we do in Nevada especially in Nevada for
Mhm.
licensing right through till training after they go through all your classes and learn how to VAC. They take my success series and sometimes they take them simultaneously. So give an idea of what we do here from the education department as far as for the agents.
So, yeah, once we actually have pre-licensing classes here in Nevada as well as in Arizona now. And
Right.
so once you get your license and you join the company, we start a lot of technology training. And obviously, our company provides so much technology that sometimes it can be like an overload. But as I tell all agents, and I'm going to probably say it again, focus on the things that you need right now. And so we teach the Virtual Agent Center, which actually allows you to have a CRM system, which is a customer retention management system, which is a database. so that you could stay in touch with your contacts and communicate with them on a regular basis without having to do a lot of work. It's a little work up front, but then you could stay in touch with your contacts for years, which is what I've been doing in this business. And we also have a website that's available in the VAC. We have automated emails that go out. We have great reports that we can send out that are true value to your consumers, to the consumers that you're working with, that actually show, talk about hyper local data, what's going on in their neighborhood. So there's so many cool tools in the VAC that it's just amazing just to start utilizing it and taking advantage of it with your contacts. I actually use it. I call myself a passive realtor because I don't actively go after real estate. And so what I do is I actually am sending them using the VAC tool to send out emails, automated emails, holiday things. And it's just automated. It just goes out. And probably in the last 2 years, I've been really busy with my old clients that have been referring business just by using the tools in a passive way. So it's just amazing if people would start taking advantage of the tools that are available. We obviously have the buy side tool, which allows you it's a lead generator for agents if they want to take advantage of that. We actually just started with Agent Icon, which is, people are always worried about what kind of social media to put on their Facebook or Instagram. And Agent Icon has so many images and things that you could download and put onto your social media. And we've made it really easy for people to start taking advantage of the social media aspect of it as well. I mean, just some of the tools that we have. And we provide training. We have 3 different trainers. One in California is Chris Weeder. Mary Sand is our instructor, our trainer in Arizona, and I do the training for the technology here in Nevada. And we actually do training every month for all of the tools that we have. And we also provide like 30-minute meetings specifically to help the agent with their needs. So if somebody wants to put together their website and they have the content they want, they can just set up a 30-minute meeting with us and we will help do it for them. So we just try to help agents not get bogged down with the technology. We want to help them utilize it, but not feel like they have to figure it all out themselves. That's what we're here for.
I love it. Yeah, I love the automated part too. Like you just said, you set up, like let's say you're working a farm and you can set up so they get the neighborhood report. It has comps in there. It's really very professional looking as well. Yeah. I call our tools and the VAC and all that wrapped together. It's like the buffet at the Bellagio. You ever go there? Right? If you go there, you can't eat the whole thing. Although I've seen people try, quite embarrassing. But you can you pick a little of this, pick a little of that, and do what you're going to do. I know what I would use if I was an agent in today's market. But, right? Huh? Oh, I would use the neighborhood reports. I would definitely use the neighborhood reports. They would go out once a month. You know how you can set the time on it, right? You cheat, right? So then I would use the newsletters. Okay, I would pick the one that could because the neighborhood report is, like you said, hyper local. Mm-hmm. And then I would pick the newsletter because the newsletter is more national news. So I think that's good for them to get both sides of it. Right. If I was out walking my farm, I would bring a buy-side report. Everybody in my farm that has been on the market or was a for sale by owner at one time, I would know because I keep track of my farm. All right. I would bring a buy-side report as well as my flyer, whether I'm having an open house, whatever, which they can also do with just a plain picture of the property. You can do it from your phone and have all your flyers done through the VAC.
That's right.
I like what you said. And like I was just teaching, I just went down to the education class. We run the education class here. I always like to go speak to that class and give them a little of what they should be thinking about. Because when you get your real estate license, you're a walking, talking business. You're a solo entrepreneur. You're in business for yourself, but not by yourself, with us anyway. And you walk in, all these things that would cost you all kinds of time and money and trial and error. All you have to do is, and I'm going to say this, put your current, I said current picture, not your high school camera shot, your current picture and your information. Thank you, Paul. Like for me, if I have a picture with hair, it's way too old, right? So I would use my current picture because I don't like false advertising. I don't want to show up. Imagine if I used a picture of myself 15 years ago, and I showed up to a listing appointment, and they looked at me in the picture and they said, "Oh, we thought your son was coming." That would be
That's
really
right. I'm waiting for someone else. You need to leave. That's right.
uh,
That's right.
that
Yeah,
would be
there
yeah.
are just so many tools. And I also think that agents should focus on how they're prospecting and use the tools that are going to be advantage to them.
Amen.
So because we have so many of them, and Mark Stark always says it's kind of like the fire hose coming at you because there are so many things that are available to you. But you really have to kind of hone in and say, okay, how am I going to prospect? Am I going to do open houses? Am I going to door knock? Am I going to make phone calls? What tools in the system that are available that I can use that are going to help me with my prospecting? And when you do that, you just don't, it doesn't feel as overwhelming as if you just tried to learn everything at once. I always tell people, come to the classes so that you know what's available, but don't try to learn it all at once. Just sit and listen and take advantage of the tools that are available to you so that when you do need them, like Apex is a perfect example.
So true.
Understand what it does, how it works, what's available, so that when you run into that seller who has a 1970 kitchen and can sell their house for a lot more money if it's updated, that the concierge of Apex can actually take care of that for them. And then they could sell the house for more money, and then they can pay for the service. Or that they want to sell their house and they want to buy something, but they don't want it to be contingent. So really know what it does. Don't become the expert in everything, but understand it so that when you need it, you reach out to your sales manager, the branch manager, you talk to your manager, you talk to one of the trainers, and we'll get you into the right direction. That's kind of what we do.
Yeah. And I like what you said too, as far as one-on-ones. You guys actually do one-on-ones. I mean, I do one-on-one. You guys do one-on-one. Somebody comes in, needs help with things. Like you said, I also like tailoring it around whatever type of prospecting, lead generation, whatever you want to call it is, and use those tools that go along with that, right? I would definitely use social media, the new social media tool as well. All right, because you have to, look, folks, you have to start implying, and I was the biggest holdout, you have to start using social media consistently in your business, even if you're using it as like a journal, right? Even if you're just documenting what you're doing. Hey, folks, I'm out here door knocking, right? You use your phone, right? I mean, it's really not that complicated. We complicate it, but I like what you said about doing one-on-ones with them, because this is a business. Sit down, learn all the business. Hey, so Mark would go crazy if I told, and I think I'm going to tell him the story, but I helped. Yesterday, I'm on a coaching call, and the guy's describing to me. This is exactly what he said. Hope he's not watching. He said, "Hey, my clients, they signed a listing agreement with me, and then a week later, they looked at their offer from Open Door, and they took it because I couldn't compete with it." And I went, Do you know what Apex is? He goes, "No." I go, "Oh my God." So then I explained it to him. I go, "It's the same thing, except when they fix the house and sell it." I used a couple other terms that I can't repeat. Then your seller gets to keep the balance. No way. Yeah, way. Right? Mm-hmm. So, and it gives you that power, like you just said, to go out. So here's what I think. I think all our managers, yourself, me, everybody included, should take this as a wake-up call and say, everybody in your office, you should just tackle them and bring them in, show them all the tools, because they don't all go to the meetings, they don't all watch it on video, and make sure they know everything that they have here so they're not losing opportunities. Would you agree?
Right. I totally agree. And like I said, I mean, they don't have to learn every detail about it, and they don't have to know exactly how it works. But if you understand the concept and just say, "Oh, I've heard about that. Now, how can I use this, and will it help my client?" Then sit down with the manager, talk to somebody, talk to you, talk to me, talk to anybody in management that will help them say, "Yeah, this is a great opportunity to use for your client." Because like I said, with all of the tools, all of the things that are available to all of the agents, it's totally worth just sitting down and listening. And again, with especially new agents, I think, well, actually not even new agents. When you come into this company, you're just like blown away with all of the things that are available. Marketing, they provide services for you to brand yourself and to do all kinds of things that help you, do postcards and things that can help you with your business. So spend time and find out what's available to you, and then focus on those things. I totally agree.
Yeah, you got to spend time in your business, but you also got to spend time on your business. And it's
Yep.
really limited how much time you have to spend here because, once again, all the marketing, everything. If I got back into real estate today, and somebody asked me this question today on one of my calls, what would you do? I said, I would take my current picture, the same one I used to the DMV. I would put it on all our marketing. All right.
Right.
I wouldn't even worry about doing personal branding, although we have that available with Maria Hill too, until I've exhausted all of that, because I think everything that we have in there, unless you get above a certain sale price, okay, you have all the marketing you need right there in the VAC 2.0. It's ridiculous. If I had that stuff when I was selling real estate, you need a CRM. You got to be organized. Hell, you load it up once and it keeps repeating. Like you said, you do it passively and it works for you. Imagine if you did it actively, like
Right.
every week added people to it. Next thing you know, you're getting, you still have to talk to people. I hate when people think, well, I just have to do that. No, no, no. That's part of the process. Just like you got to talk to people, you got to have a CRM, you got to have great marketing. You also have to do social media. You got to do a little of everything. You're
Right.
once again, a solo entrepreneur in business for
In
yourself,
your own,
but
right.
not by
In your own
yourself. By the way,
business.
I don't know if you can see that, but Amanda says she loves you and you have saved her.
Oh, thanks,
No,
Amanda.
or, anyway,
Well,
yeah,
I will tell you, like I said, I'm a passive, because all I do is send out the tools from the VAC. And because I've done that, like I said, it's amazing. I probably have had over 10 transactions last year without doing anything.
wow.
So again, it's just a matter of staying in touch. One of the most important things that you could do is stay in touch with your contacts. These are previous clients that did referrals or that wanted to do business. And it was just based on the fact that I sent them a newsletter, which is one of the things that you mentioned, Rick, that I do as well. I send out the newsletter. I send them a happy birthday automated once I have their date and I put it in the system. It automatically sends them an email wishing them a happy birthday. And because I do those things, they respond in an email back to me and say, hey, I think I'm going to be selling my house or buying a house in 2 months. I'll reach out to you when I'm ready. So at that time, I stay in touch with them. So again, it's passive. And you're right. You have to do all those other things when you're a full-time real estate agent and you're actively trying to get business. But passively, you can still look at what I have done. It's just amazing what you can do with the tools that are available to you.
And think about just that number. Now, how many people would you say you have in the VAC 2.0? What's your total number?
I have about 75 people.
75 people passively. So even if, like, let's say I have 250 and I do what you just mentioned and I add 15 deals to my current production level. Ooh, that's way
right.
better than a sharp stick in the eye. Yes, that is.
That's right.
Yes.
That's
Okay.
right.
So, right. So why, just think about that. So let me get them on a neighborhood report or a market report, whatever. That's a little complicated for me. I like the simple one. And
The
then
neighborhood report, very, very hyper local, very specific. Everybody wants to know what's going on in their neighborhood. That is a perfect report for you.
Yep. And then the more globally one or locally or nationally one is the newsletter, right? So that and they're getting that. Then you think, oh, how about their birthdays or anniversaries, right? And then you make sure you're connected with them on social media, which we also have all kinds of goodies in there, like you just mentioned, right? Now you have this huge blanket over all these people. Why wouldn't they use you, right? It would be crazy not to.
That's right. That's what I think. That's why I say just take advantage, sit back, come to a class. Our classes are 1 hour. So it's not like we're sitting in a 3-hour class trying to make you get to learn everything, but it's just an overview. Learn it, understand how it works, and take advantage of it.
Right. And you guys are kind, unlike me. You guys let them either come live or do it on Google Hangouts too, right?
So for our technology classes, we are doing them still virtual because I think it's kind of hard for people to show up for just a 1 hour class.
Right.
But I think probably in about a month, I'm going to be starting to hit some of the offices. And actually, Chris in California goes to he does some live classes there as well.
Chris the educator. That's what I call him.
Chris the educator. Yes, he is.
He's a good guy too. I remember when I started when we first acquired that office, he was an agent there, and now he's doing a great
That's
job.
right.
Mary Sand is incredible in Arizona too, and yourself here, and you have Dee and
Dee and Chantel.
Chantel. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, they do our pre-licensing and post-licensing classes. And then I couldn't do my job without Carol Sandoval, who is our proctor and education coordinator. So
She's my babysitter in my class.
Yeah. And we actually have Christina in our, who's just starting to do pre-licensing in Arizona as well. So yeah, we're excited. We're growing. So
we are growing, and we offer a lot of stuff. I always tell, especially the newer agents, I'm like, and I say the newer agents, but I'll even say even like Rochelle Vinoy, who used to use,
right.
Was it a top producer? Mm-hmm. Her assistant transferred everything into the VAC 2.0.
Right.
It has all the bells and whistles, and it's free. My favorite price. Yes.
Yeah. She reached out to me and said, I don't want to use it anymore. I want to start using the VAC, and they send out all the automated emails out now and everything. So yeah, I've actually had quite a few agents who've been in the business for a long time switch over to the VAC and get rid of their old stuff that they've had. And they are really appreciative. They like it because it's all kind of combined. Your website is linked to your database. So if somebody goes to your website and signs in and registers, you get notified and they're already in your database now. So there's some really cool features for them to be able to do that.
All right, cool. I just want to say hi to Arisha, too, for tuning in. Thank you, Arisha. She said some nice, wonderful things about you, too. That's great.
Aww.
Yeah, and here's the other thing, too. You put all your people in there, and we're constantly upgrading it. The gentleman, I can't think of his last name, but Ken something. Ken.
Elmer.
What is it?
Elmer.
Elmer, like glue, right?
That's
well, I will say this. He has an incredible hairstyle. I will say that. He cuts his hair just as tight as me. Thank you. But anyway, so he's in our leadership call at least once a month, and managers are telling him, here's what I'm hearing, here's what we should add, right? So they're constantly adding it too. I think Gordon did a tremendous job getting that all squared away. And Maria, that thing is, I'm going to say idiot proof because I can use it. That's what I'm talking about.
That's right. I've seen you in action. Rick. So I know you could use it too.
Oh, good. Yeah, I was hoping you were going to go with that, not with the other thing I said. That's good. I appreciate it. All right. Any final wonderful words of wisdom you want to leave these people, Laurette?
So probably, we talked about a couple of them, but I probably first and foremost is before you really get into anything, you need to have that database. You need to set up a database, and so you can stay in touch with your contacts. To me, that's probably the first and foremost thing you should do, because again, that's also your asset. When you decide you want to retire and sell your business, people will want your asset, which is your contacts. So you need to have them in one place, not strewn all over the place. So that would be the first thing. Stay in touch because, again, that's the best way to be communicating with your contacts, with having that database. And the VAC does that. The other thing, and I said it earlier, is just don't be overwhelmed with all the tools, because we can be overloaded when you become an agent and you get your license. All of a sudden, you have everything that you could use and take advantage of. Focus on what you can use for the type of prospecting that you're going to do. Whatever prospecting you're going to do, focus on those tools to help you do that and help you be successful. And then the third thing that I highly recommend that everybody does is talk to your partner/vendors that can help you in this business. I always recommend there's title companies, lenders, home warranty companies. Set up a 20-minute meeting with the marketing rep or the lender that can talk to you about the things that tools they can provide you to help you with your business, help you meet objections, get familiar with what the things that they can do to help you with your business. They're there to help you be successful, because if you're successful, they can be successful too. So I'm really big proponent about going out and spending 20 to 30 minutes with the vendors that you will be working with out there and find out how they can help you with your business. And those are my three things.
I agree with that. That's all really great stuff, Laurette. And I think, our title and escrow affiliations are all great. They're different in all states. And then we have the new Prosperity Mortgage, which I think everyone's going to love. They're very tough to beat with programs and rates. So, and I know that we've had a few in the past, but this is now, we're part of corporate, they're part of corporate. It ain't changing, which is really good. And a lot of the same people have transferred over, which makes it even better.
Right.
Okay. All right. Awesome. Well, hey, this has been very educational. Thank you, Laurette. From the education. Perfect. All right. Thank you very much for your time, everybody. We'll do this again next week. Thank you. Bye, Laurette. Thank you.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
All right.